We are this close to having everything announced for HHN. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are here at Universal Studios for some more Halloween Horror Nights updates. Now, today we had our final announcements for like scare zones / experiences. We got to talk about that. So we have all of our scare zones and experiences now officially announced. We do have some scare zone updates here. We are still waiting on the final 2 house announcements. Again, we do know Five Nights is coming to this event. We just don't know at what capacity yet. So we're still waiting for that announcement. And then that 10th house, we are still waiting on as well. Then we also need to see what's going on in the Fear Factor stage. Again, we're 99% confirmed at this point. We're getting another Nightmare Fuel. And then we still need to see if we have another Lagoon show coming. But we have a lot to cover today. There's construction happening over next to Rip Ride. We have a lot going on. We also need to make sure that we stay cool today as it is over 100 degrees. Today's the first day that I'm feeling it immediately, so there's probably gonna be a lot of breaks here. Hopefully no rain. I do see it coming around 3 or 4 p.m. today, but as of now, we're just trying to stay cool. I can feel my hat is insanely hot, which is just crazy. I've only been out here for like 20 minutes, not even like 10 minutes, just like walking around City Walk really quick. Either way, let's get checked in and start these updates. Like I said, we have a big one here for you guys today. One of the first things we actually need to talk about would be the entry into the park. So the gates that we typically have right here, you have red lettering that says Horror Nights, but it's actually gonna be like a turquoise blue this year. So that'll be interesting. They said they want to kind of blend it together as you walk in. They want that theme to really stick through. So keep an eye out for different theming when you enter. No longer are we getting that red potentially this year. Let's go ahead and check in on the lights and speakers happening up here. It looks to be pretty much the same along the rooftop here. I don't think we're getting anything new up there. All the lights look to be pretty standardized. Let's head this direction because I do want to start to talk about these scare zones and experiences as we go through. Now, we are assuming that this one is that entry facade, the kind of the conservatory that's going to enter you into the park and kind of get that theme rolling throughout the event. It just makes sense. Again, I have no idea where any of the scare zones are going, but I'm guessing that's what's going to be happening in here. Is it's going to be introducing you in. And let's go over to the right here into Hollywood. I don't know what's coming over here. I have my thoughts on 2 other zones that have been announced. I'm also seeing some lights up top right there. I'll have to double check. I don't think those are normally there. I think those are new heading this direction. Now, I always talk about the blinding lights. Yes, insert the weekend meme here. But right there, do you see that one? It is always on and it blasts right here. I literally can't look at it. I'm looking at the asphalt, so I think I'm looking pretty good, but it is blinding, that light up there. I think they are doing testing. Looks like they're angling them different directions. Right over there, you can see that one there is pointing kind of straight down. We have these 2 little mini trusses that we have been seeing here for about a week now, I'd say. Gosh, all those lights. It's like, I'm wondering, like, were those already there? I don't know how many of them, but it just looks like they're adding more and more to the cluster up there. We did see those ones above Schwab's already. I don't know if we saw those above kind of where they do the podcast though. All right, I think those are the same. I think there was 4 over there last time. Maybe that little mini one at the bottom might be new, but I believe there was 4. We do have the 2 right there, then also the big bundle right behind it. A few more up there, and that one is actually on. You guys can see it is lit up to the left of the tree there. Let's go check in on the merch, see how everything is holding up. Let's see sizing, small, medium, large, and that is it. So nothing beyond large, and actually extra small is as small as it goes. They have removed the sunflowers that were again up here, but they still have the flower pot of them down here. And it looks like for the most part, everything else looks to have good stock right now, so no issues. Again, if you guys are coming to the event at any point, my guess is all of this will be stocked. They typically do a really good job keeping things in stock in general. But yeah, as of now, pretty much sizing would be the one thing that you have to be a little worried about if you're coming before the event, because some days I'm noticing they only have smalls or whatever, and other days I'm noticing they have everything. But let's keep moving on. No props or anything yet, but we do have officially all of our announced zones and everything, which I guess let's start to talk about as we come over here to Mel's. Oh, and look at that light right on top of Mel's. That one, I feel like I've never seen. That's a short one, like right on the rooftop. So we officially have been announced the Mel's die-in experience. I know a lot of people were kind of predicting that we were getting something with it, and now it is confirmed. We don't know the details to it yet. We just know there is an experience coming, which is another thing I want to talk about. We have 4 scare zones this year and 2 experiences. They put like kind of zombies here in front of Mel's in kind of that artwork. I'll have it on the screen for you. I'm a little curious, like, is it gonna be kind of like a dining situation where like you're dining with zombies? Are they gonna be out here doing a little performance? They do a lot of performances out here in front of Mel's, so it might be something like that. But that would seem weird because you have the scare zone attached to it. It's so close. I feel like they wouldn't do that, but I have no idea. Literally in the dark here. So it might be something inside of Mel's. They have like zombies or something walking around. I don't know. I heard we're getting the HHN bar back this year too. Don't know the theme of it, but it is cool to see that we're getting something here for Mel's. A lot of people love when it turns into the Mel's die-in. We just don't know what it's gonna be yet. They said, stay tuned for what is coming, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of dining experience. What do you guys want? What are you looking for out of a Mel's die-in experience? Are you looking for kind of like, you know, a character dining of sorts? Are you just hoping maybe they kind of like theme it inside? Do you want them to do a little show out here? I'm not sure. You guys will have to let me know what you guys are looking for out of a Mel's die-in experience. Again, I'm sure we'll get some of that information here in the next week or two, maybe longer, I don't know, but I think we'll get more information in the coming weeks. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet for the HHN season, as we are knee-deep in HHN updates. Let's continue on over here right next to Battery Park. We have already seen a lot of this here, so we won't cover too much of the lighting, but let's go take a look where electrical is going. A lot of lights on those little trusses though, holy cow. Now again, these 2 lights come down here. You have this bundle of electronics that are being wrapped around. So they're going to be running a lot of wires, a lot of electric. I mean, again, you see all that. That is not for 2 lights, by the way. And you can see here, look at all those lights. Wow, they have 5 of them here on each of these other mini trusses, and then 2 on the one back here. Also, it looks like we have cable now running along this entire kind of gazebo here. Oh, look, they have lights on the inside too. Didn't even see that till now. So we do have more lighting in here. Looks like we have 4, 5 of them. So we have 3 on the back side. We have this one, 1, 2, 3. And then on the front side, we do have 2 here that you could see. So it looks like we're gonna have about 5 of them. And we have a lot of lights coming in with options for plugs. So I'm sure they're gonna have all their stuff plugged in to those outlets there. But yeah, they are running a ton of lights in here. I should also point out, again, this bundle of wiring is coming down here. It's all wrapped up here. And then we have this big box here. Again, you could see electrical, so definitely a little hub of sorts. So tons of electrical running through here. Now, if I were to be guessing what could be going in these scare zones, my thought is you either have the mutants or you have the masquerade over here inside of Hollywood. And I'll kind of explain my reasoning. Again, the first zone, I still think is gonna be that entry zone. They talk about the conservatory and bringing you in. They talked about that being the main theme. I mean, there's no way that they don't do that, right? I mean, the writing's on the wall there. But this zone is a huge question mark. I think it could be either of those 2, and I'll explain again in a second. So we have 2 new experiences that have been announced. We covered one here over at Mel's. And then we also have a new experience coming in a minute, which we'll talk about in, again, just a few minutes here. But we haven't really talked about the other 2 scare zones that have been announced. One of them being kind of the mutants, which is super unique because they talk about BuzzCon, which deals with the house from a few years ago, Bugs Eaten Alive. If you guys were around for that and did that house, that was the whole thing, is they were at BuzzCon and kind of things went haywire. It's kind of the same concept, so 1920s. I think it's like a bank heist or something they were talking about. But it's cool to see a return to like BuzzCon and kind of keeping that lore inside of HHN here. So that'll be cool to see what ends up going on. Like I said, I could see that either going here or actually over in New York. And I'll kind of tell you why I don't think either of these other 2 zones are gonna suit those. It might be over in New York. It kind of makes sense. Maybe as part of the description, they might have talked about New York in there. I don't think that they did, but that would kind of lend itself more to like a convention style over there. And and I can see like the masquerade going over here, which is the other one, which we're getting kind of a vampire masquerade. So kind of another vampire zone, but it's a little different, obviously another take on it. We have had a number of vampire zones, and I know some people are totally over them. Some people love them. This is kind of a way to not have like a Vamp 69 or Vamp whatever, and just have vampires as like the underlying theme instead of kind of like the main kind of driver. It's kind of the masquerade though. Could be a really cool zone. I think that'll go here. Again, it could either be here or New York. I'll talk about the last experience when we kind of get to the spot I think it's gonna go. But yes, so either way, I'm thinking mutants maybe, or masquerade here. But if I had to guess, I would say probably the masquerade. Now, as we enter this area here, you can see we have these little like stages that are now being covered. We have electrical running around. These are covered up. This is kind of big news right now. Let's keep walking through, but I think this is going to be the cat lady scare zone. And the reason why is in the art, they use a lot of like these pumpkins that are kind of in like the bushes and the trees. And I think this kind of suits that area. You can see another one of these little stages. I don't know what is going on here. It's gonna be wild. Again, we can see the speakers out here. I don't think these will be the final spot unless they end up kind of covering them. But yeah. What do you guys think? Are we getting the cat lady in here? Is this gonna be our lane of cats and pumpkins? I think it's gonna look amazing if they put some pumpkins up in the trees. A lot of people have been asking for that again from a few years ago, where you kind of walked through all the pumpkins. And I think it's gonna suit really well in this area. It'll be dark. They'll use the pumpkin glowing from kind of the jack-o'-lanterns, and it'll be really nice. And again, this stage we did see the other day, and I was so confused because I'm like, what is this? And now as more are popping up, I think it does pertain to the scare zone. I wasn't sure. I was like, is this just something that's always here? I don't think so. I think this is new. So a lot of electrical being ran in the background there, as you can see. And now these little stages here as well. It looks like the bag is still covering what is ever over there as well. But look on the other side, just another blank board here. We got one just sitting in the middle of the grass here. Not conspicuous at all. Right? But also even on the other side, we have another one. So we have 5 of these platforms here. Whatever they're gonna be, they might be covering something right now. They might not even be platforms. They might just be covering up something. I don't know, but I don't recall seeing this before. And we also have the power box here at the end that is running a ton of cables down here. I mean, there's gotta be, what, 15 of them or so? Insane. We'll keep an eye on this. I think this might be an awesome scare zone this year. I always like what goes on, but it's always a little short. But if it starts kind of where it normally does, maybe a little further back, who knows? And then it extends out this way and then utilizes whatever this stage is, I think we're in business. Now, I don't want to hype any of you guys up, so I'll just briefly tell you, Arcade has nothing going on right now, at least for today. Still keeping an eye on it. I know there are a bunch of rumors speculating. I have no clue, guys. And when I find out and Universal makes an announcement, you know we'll tell you guys. But as of now, no idea what is going there. But this is where I think we might see the mutant scare zone go. Now, my thought is they can use a lot of like kind of those big pillar or kind of like tubs, you know, and make it look like that's kind of like the mutant juice kind of spilling out the goo and kind of like all over the streets. Could be pretty sweet. We also seem to have a little bit more lighting going up on the rooftops. Looks like they have something kind of hidden away up there, actually, but a lot of lights now up there straight ahead, as you can see. Also looks like there's a sign missing right there. When did that come down? But it looks like they are repositioning lights, aiming them in directions, probably testing these out. Again, you can see a lot of lights kind of hidden away up there too, it looks like. But yeah, a lot of lighting structures are getting put in place here in New York as well. So that is cool. But yeah, I think this could be, again, the mutants. I could see it being the masquerade. I think it lends itself more to be mutants, in my opinion. Mutants seem more like a New York thing, and masquerade seems more like a Hollywood thing. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but that's what I'm feeling. Taking a quick peek, I'm not seeing anything over next to Fast and Furious. I think that's gonna be the end of the updates for this house here. I don't think we're gonna be seeing much else there, but I could be wrong. But we do need to head over here to San Francisco because you need to see what is happening over here. So you can see they have started to disassemble all of the Jaws stuff that we had here for summer. And now look what is happening over here. Now this is interesting. We need to talk all about this. Also, we still have our lonesome light up there. Now, right here, we have another stage with all of these lights. It looks like we have like black lights, LED lights, crazy lights. I mean, this place is popping with lights, guys. I mean, every inch of this feels like it has a light on it at this point. But I need to tell you, this might be where we get Club Horror, by the way. I mean, look at this. So you have the trusses here, right? You're gonna walk in and it's gonna be this little club scene of horror as you walk in. I bet you those lights will probably like, I don't know, maybe strobe or something. I don't know. It's gonna be wild, but that's my guess for this zone. Now, this could also be the mutants. I could see that being a thing. You know, toxic waste kind of near the water. I feel like they like to do that sometimes. But with all of these lights, the way it's looking, those look like club lights, like party lights. And that makes me think we're also next to Fast and Furious, which, as you know, can be a little clubby in its own sort of way. I'm thinking this is Club Horror. What do you guys think? Now, we don't have all the details on this, by the way. We just know that it is coming. They said we'll hear more about it. So now we have all of our scare zones and everything announced. So Club Horror, Mel's, both of those things are experiences. And then we have 4 scare zones. So we have like the Origins scare zone, we got the Cat Lady scare zone, we have the Mutants and the Masquerade. So kind of 4 scare zones, 2 experiences. I think this year is going to be completely different. I'm wondering if they're going to try and really have the entry scare zone into the other scare zones that are kind of attached to it all be like one giant scare zone. And then this will be kind of like separate and on its own. It'll be kind of close to where they typically do that bar out here as well, like next to Chez Alcatraz. I don't know, like so you have Chez over here, you've got the bar kind of back here. I don't know. I'm thinking like this will be like separate almost. So those scare zones all coincide. So it's almost gonna be like these 4 scare zones that's like one big story almost. And then we have this area back here. I'm not sure. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. What do you think is happening here with Club Horror? Do you think the scare zones are gonna be more kind of cohesive this year? They expand them out, kind of have them blend into each other. Mel's, what are they doing with that? A lot of question marks this year. It feels like a completely different year than almost any other year recently. I think they're making some cool changes. We'll talk more about that in a future video. I want to talk about some of the stuff that's coming and just like how I feel about it. But for now, I mean, that's crazy, right? I don't even have to go over there to point out it is not finished yet. The siding is still not done on the bathrooms. So bathroom update, not finished. What I am more concerned about is that bridge over there, and I'm kind of giving you a different angle here. It is still being worked on, and we have about a month, a little under a month and a half until opening night of HHN, and that is still getting worked on heavily. So I know it probably won't take too long to get done, but it does make me a little nervous because I think you're gonna need that open for traffic flow. Wait a minute. I don't know what that is. I have not seen that before. That's a truss with lights, backstage, hooked up, and I don't know what to think about this. Okay, so we're going to get out of this zone now, but again, with that stage and the 2 trusses there, makes me think like a DJ could be up there. You could have like 2 like stands for speakers that are like right there. Like it's giving DJ like club vibes, and being Club Horror, I definitely could see it happening. I don't know. Plus again, you're next to all of these bars with Chez Alcatraz. They typically put the bar over there as well. So like, I mean, it makes sense that this could be like kind of a drinking area with kind of a clubby feel to it. I don't know, but like, how do you tune it to be horror that's like kind of a scare zone? Or I don't know, like, is this really what we're considering now? 4 scare zones, 2 experiences? I don't think that's gonna be like a scare zone. They didn't announce it as a scare zone, they announced it as an experience, and it seems like we're gonna have 4 scare zones, 2 experiences, again, which is why I'm saying like it's completely different. If they do the front scare zone well, I'm okay with it. If it's kind of like not up there and just kind of like this like mediocre thing that you walk into and you just pass by it and don't really exist in it, I don't know, then it's kind of like we're having 3 scare zones and like 2 experiences and like an entry facade. So we'll keep an eye on everything that is happening around, but definitely like a completely different year right now. Still waiting. We want that Lagoon show. That's the next thing we need to get announced if it's coming this year. That's what I'm most looking forward to, if I'm being honest with you. If they make that announcement, I will be so happy. I still don't know. I feel like they would have announced it by now, but they didn't announce Nightmare Fuel, so maybe they're saving like shows and things for the end. But I'm very nervous we're not getting a nighttime show. We'll see. We are still waiting for the construction here also to finish up, but doesn't look like that has happened quite yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. Still have the electrical running right here. Everything is open here, so in time, I'm sure we'll start to see stuff, but what I was pointing out earlier are those lights. Again, I don't think they're really new, kind of just these little small clusters of them, some up there on the rooftops and everything like that. But as far as new, nothing too crazy. I'm still shocked if they don't put the tribute store right here, but could be the case. This is what was unique though. So they had a sign up here before. You can kind of see, looks like it's like torn out. So I don't know. Part of me feels like there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that we don't see, and I'm very excited about it. I think that is just about it for all of our lights. Actually, those lights right there are on. On the lower portion, they're blue. I can see those. Huh. So they are still on or testing or something there. This is kind of why I'm excited though about this Minions area. I mean, there's just so many lights for them not to do something here, and it might just be to light up the way. I get that, but like, you don't need that many lights just to put like a display down for you to walk through. You know, like that's a lot of lights. You got clusters of 3 to 4 at a time. You got 2 here, 2 additional right there, 4, 3. Like, there's so many lights here. I feel like we've got to do something, right? We've got to. Now I need to go take a thumbnail really quick, but I want to point out the fact that now that everything is announced out here, again, shows not yet, but as far as scare zones, we're fully announced now at this point, which makes me think it's a great time for them to start putting props out, which they typically do end of July, early August, etc. So keep an eye out for our next updates. You might start to see some props rolling around, which is always super exciting. But, right, I mean, think about it. If everything is already announced now, all of the zones, I mean, at this point, we can start rolling stuff out because now they don't have to keep it a secret. I don't know, I'm looking forward to, obviously, prop updates, but hopefully they start to come sooner than later because we keep seeing the trusses, we see the lights. Next step, props. Let's get a closer look at the construction on Rip Ride. Also, looks like the plane is fully put back together. That's nice. Oh, wow. Look at all of the construction that is going on next to a Rip Ride. They have them out digging up the dirt right now. And they're on the dirt, they're moving it. Definitely a big construction day. I saw as I was walking up here too, a lot of construction workers were walking up near the fence. So they again are moving pretty quick. I'm super excited that this is happening and it wasn't just like, hey, by the way, Rip Ride's closing. At some point, something will get here. I mean, they are moving already. I love that. That is it for another day of Halloween Horror Nights updates, but also just talking about the fact this year feels different and I am all for it. Now I'll talk more about the houses after everything is announced because I do want to talk about at least even what's announced currently. Still waiting for Five Nights to get their official announcement and then whatever the 10th house is, but this year just feels way different than previous years and I'm all for it. Like, change things up, see how it does. Like, if people like it, great. You know, it kind of feels like that's how Epic Universe is, where it's like, you know, operate for a year or two, see where people are kind of flowing and kind of where traffic's going. And with this year, you know, see how this little club horror works, see how this little Mel's Die-In situation works. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Now it is time for me to get out of this 100-degree weather, head back home. Nicole is back in Chicago for the next 4 or 5 days, so she will not be with me here for any of these updates for at least about a week or so. So if you guys are in the comments, also say hi to Nicole in Chicago. But yeah, that is it. Hopefully you guys had some fun checking out some of these updates and seeing what new will be happening here for this year's HHN, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did have fun with me here today. And for just a unique year, you know, overall, this is gonna be, it's gonna be unique. I'm excited for it, but we have to wait to see what the full announcement is on those experiences. We just know they're coming, and at this point, we just kind of start making stuff up in our heads, but hopeful that it's a lot of fun either way. Now, again, we'll be back here hopefully in the next few days, maybe see some props. I don't know. I'm hoping to get something. I'm assuming we'll get another house announced next week. I don't know if it's 5 nights or what, but I'm assuming next week we'll get another house. And then we're approaching. We'll be into August before you know it. We'll have Premium Scream Night approaching really fast. So much is about to happen, and I'm so looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. Either way, thank you guys for hanging out with me here at Universal Studios, but more importantly, thank you guys for being here.